ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of Today's Youth. And today we will be meeting with a multitasking young lady. Her name is Sara Al-Amin. She's working as an African affairs journalist at one of the Egyptian newspapers. She will tell us about her experience as a journalist and her experience specifically in community service in Africa. Thank you very much for joining us, Sara.
Thank you for having me.
Sara, I would like you to tell me first about your passion for community service.
Since I was a kid, my father and my mother, they were making us watch the news and think how hard Africa is suffering. So I had this passion from my family, trying to help them to create a different and better life. My main goal was creating water supply, because water supply is not just water. For us, we couldn't relate to this topic because most of us having tap water, which is healthy and people can drink it without getting sick. But in Africa, it's a whole different story. Lack of water affects the education system, affects the women's health, affects even the politics. So it was a major concern for me to try to change this by creating the butterfly effect, if I'm allowed to say so. I don't think Happy Africa made huge projects, but what I'm sure of, it made huge difference.
Yes. You established an organization with the title Happy Africa. Tell me more about the objectives of this organization and your main achievements.
Let me start with the achievements, then I will go to the objectives. Monthly, we dig more than one borehole. The depth of the borehole depends between 40 and 60 meters deep, which is the standards in West Africa. And we do some feeding programs, health programs, and we mostly depend on the donations of the Egyptians living abroad, as well as the Egyptians in Egypt. Our objective is creating Happy Africa, trying by leaving the butterfly effect. We accept a lot of volunteers, mostly between the age of 16 and 21, so that when I die or I get sick, I get old, I couldn't work anymore, we have someone to lead and continue the...
Yes. Yes. Tell me more about the donations. How do you raise funds? How do you collect donations to support you in this actually very interesting project?
It's a long story. I work in the community service since I was 16, maybe. Then I started collecting donations myself, which were illegal. But at this point, I was collecting from my family and friends, so it was not a big deal. Then when it started to get on a bigger scale, we established as a certified organization. It's certified under the Kenyan law, where we mostly work. And wherever we go, we get the certification, we get the bank account, the legal persons who can legalize collecting donations, because collecting donations is not an easy job to do. You have to go through a lot of paperwork and etc.
Right. You were also able to give some necessary medical equipment or drugs maybe to some people in need over there.
We did more than that. What he said is very true. But we did more than that. We did a lot of surgeries, especially for kids. We mainly care about changing the life of the kids, because tomorrow they're going to be the youth. Afterwards, they're going to be the leaders of the country. So creating a healthy lifestyle and a healthy environment for them is one of our biggest concerns.
the next projects that Happy Africa will work on?
We will keep and continue working on the boreholes because it's a huge matter. Imagine if you couldn't live without water for a week. Could you survive?
Of course no.
Imagine these people are living with no clean water more than 30, 40 years. Their health conditions are very bad. Kids can't go to school because they cannot bath, they are mostly sick. So I care about continuing digging the boreholes. And then one of my dreams is establishing a school. We are working on our documents, and soon it's gonna be ready. I don't know how soon, but soon once it's gonna ready, we're gonna be with you, telling you the whole story again.
Right. Are you planning to work in other African countries or work inside Egypt? I mean, are you planning to expand your community service to inside Egypt and other African countries?
We have been working in more than 3 different African countries until now. But working in Egypt is a whole different story because the law is very restricted when it comes to collecting donations. I cannot go to this or I will go behind bars. So for now, until we get our documents ready and certified, and we get our Happy Africa certified, we cannot get this done.
Right. Minister of Immigration, Dr. Nabila Makram, showed great interest in what you're doing, and she's encouraging you to continue. Would you tell me more about this?
She's one of my role models since I was maybe 25. Since I knew her name and saw her work. So meeting her was just like a kid meeting his Superman or something. It was amazing, and she's teaching me a lot. She's teaching me how to be practical, how to be nice, how to be kind, and more important, how to be professional and documenting everything and not getting myself into a situation where people can question my intentions or ask me questions that I don't want to answer. So she's amazing. I'm glad I'm blessed to meet her.
How did the support she's given you, along with Dr. Maya Morsi, encourage you more to continue and expand?
When you're working unnoticed, it's an issue. Yeah, you feel like you're not appreciated enough. When your country notices you, it's a whole different level. It feels like you're not doing what you're doing for nothing. You're doing it for a good purpose, and that's it.
Right. Well, you studied mass communication,
Yes,
right?
I did.
Tell me, why did you choose mass communication in specific to study?
It's my passion. I believe that writers and journalists can change the world if they are honest and targeting the right targets, which is helping others and helping their communities, not just after the trends and whatever we see in media right now. So yeah, I wanted to make a change since I was a kid. So one of the ways of making a change is by writing and by being a journalist. And this happened, actually, I saw this by my own eyes when my page just started publishing, and the story people start talking about Africa, asking me questions, giving me ideas, actually, even giving me ideas. So journalism can change as well as community work. Both of them can work hand in hand and make a big impact and difference.
Sarah, you're actually working as an African Affairs journalist. You're specialized in African Affairs.
Yes, I do.
Tell me more about your work and your career and your aspirations for the future in your career.
I have been a journalist for more than a decade now. I think for more than 10 years. My first published article was in 2012. I went through a whole long journey, but writing about African affairs, meeting the people you care about, and you know a lot about them, and you're willing to know more. It it makes me feel like I'm going to a vacation. I'm not going to an office and working.
Yes.
I'm living my dream.
Yes. Tell me, how far did your experience as a journalist affect you on the personal level?
It made me single, tough, independent. I guess so.
Right. Okay, you also have an experience in writing. You wrote a series of books especially written for kids. Tell me more about this series of books.
As I said earlier, it's not like I lost hope in our generation, but I want to focus more on kids because they are tomorrow's men and women, who are going to carry the country. Mm-hmm. So by writing for them and educating them about Africa, they are going to understand that we are different, yet we can unite and make a change.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, Sarah, we're just going to go for a short break and we'll be right back.
أحلم بالدنيا اللي مفيش فيها كره وغل، الشمس بتطلع فيها تنور قلب الكل.
الحب يكون هو لغتها والناس تستمتع بحياتها،
والخير يزيد ويفيض ويغطي حدود الأرض.
I dream a world where no one hates or holds a grudge.
Da fosse una fotisi tognalo,
Dove si vive per l'amore che riempie il tempo di colore.
любите жить то, что дается свыше нам.
نحلم بالدنيا اللي يعيش فيها ناس في سلام، ناس يفكروا في المستقبل يشوفوا القدام.
الحلم بيلمع بعيونهم، مو فارقة لا لونهم ولا دينهم،
ناس قابلين كل اختلافاتهم عايشين مع بعض.
أحلم بمكان الحب بيطرح فيه ويملى، أحلم بمكان في كل اللي احنا بنتمناه.
وما نتحككش بأي ظروف ونعيش من غير إحساس الخوف، مع عالم واحد كل الناس بتعيش جواه.
I dream of a world where love stays everything we do. I dream of a world where everything we hope comes true.
No obstacles will stand our way, no doubt or fear to chase away. One world that does not think in terms of me and you.
de braços dados e brilho em cada olhar. Sorrindo juntos nós podemos ir além.
눈 감고 상상해봐요. 모두 따뜻한 세상.
Novo mundo orientado para o bem.
كلنا جايين من نفس الأب ونفس الأم،
من حواء ومن آدم من الآخر نفس الدم. هي حقيقة ولازم نرضى.
كلنا راكبين مركب واحدة،
أكيد رايحين نوصل مع بعض البر أمان.
ख्वाब दुनिया का जहां चैन हुआ मन, हर किसी का कल खिला हो जैसे महका चमन.
Tulivyoshikana siku za kale, kwa nini tena tutenganishwe? Tamani dunia yaliyo na umoja.
I dream of a world where love stays everything we do. I dream
Welcome back. Still with my guest, Sarah. Tell me, how do you see the great attention given by the Egyptian leadership, by President Sisi, to the youth, and of course the youth conferences that are taking place? A lot of youth empowerment we've been seeing during the past years. How do you see the significance of this and its impact on the youth?
It's made me be with you today. Happy Africa proposal was written in the hotel room where I was invited for World Youth Forum 2018. So the World Youth Forums allowed us to interact with youth from all over the world, where we can exchange ideas and create something together.
So you attended the World Youth Forum in 2018.
Happy Africa was born in World Youth Forum hotel room in 2018. So I can see the impact on myself. It made me be with you, and it made me do what I did. Getting in depth with the youth and interacting with different generations, it made us understand that the people who are older or the elderly are not our enemies. They just know more.
Yes.
So you're willing to learn from them. As well as looking into Africa, which is, I can see, it's getting a lot of attention from the president and the ministers and the writers and everyone. I can say it's too late, but it's never too late. This is going to create an impact soon enough. Everyone in Egypt is going to feel that they are having brothers and sisters around the borders. We're going to feel more safe. We're going to have an ease of accessing food, transportation, whatever they have, we can get, and whatever we have, they can get. So it's kind of a union.
Yes. Right. Sarah, since you attended the World Youth Forum in 2018, tell me more about the significance of gathering youth together from different countries, from different cultures in one place. What's the impact of this on the youth, in your opinion, in creating a bond among youth from different countries and exchanging, of course, experiences and views on different topics?
It was an eye-opening for me, as I had a lot of meetings with different ambassadors of African countries. I am saying ambassadors, they are not officially ambassadors, but in my opinion, they are holding their country's flag and heritage and law. I had a lot of friends, and I still have them until now. We talked, we discussed, we created. Sometimes we didn't agree, sometimes we agreed. This was an eye-opening. It made me understand that there's plenty of different cultures all over the earth. It's not just me and my culture.
Right. Sarah definitely faced a lot of obstacles and challenges that you overcame. Throughout your career life as a journalist, throughout your community service, you initiated Happy Africa, which is an organization working on community service in African countries. Tell me about the challenges that you faced and how did you overcome them?
We faced a lot of challenges. One of them was creating the papers and getting certified. When you're in a foreign country, you're not a citizen, so you don't know where to go, who to go to. So this is what was my biggest challenge, because without getting certified, I wouldn't be able to collect donations, so there are no projects.
Yes.
Security. The security was not the best, we can say so. We overcome this. Sometimes feeling lonely when you're living in a different country without your family, especially during the Corona time when there was a total lockdown. I couldn't fly back to Egypt. None of my parents, none of my family could fly to me. So this is one of the worst couple of months I ever been through. When you get sick, when you're alone, it's a whole different story. You go to the hospital alone, you're very scared that they could inject you something wrong, or something that's having viruses, or you get scared a lot. But my father taught me that it's okay to get scared. But overcoming this feeling is what makes you a good human being or
Yes.
brave human being.
How did this experience strengthen you on the personal level?
It changed me. It changed the view of things in my eyes. Before the experience, I could feel shy if I was not wearing the latest trends or the latest dress I saw on who and who. Now I can wear whatever I want, I can eat whatever I want, I can go wherever I want. It made me understand that the luxury I had is not there for everyone. So it made me a little bit down to earth. It made me want to give more, because when you see a lot of needy people, you want to give more, so you work harder, you learn, you start to try to make their lives better.
Yes. What would you like to tell youth about persistence and perseverance to achieve your goals?
Okay. For 10 years, I wanted to write about African affairs. I only started writing after 9 years from me writing the first article in 2012. So it took me 9 years. But what made me be where I want to be or live my dream is I never stopped knocking the doors. I never stopped trying. I never stopped reading. I never stopped asking people, what should I do? What am I doing wrong? And everything happens is a practice for something bigger. And what made me the way I am is one of the reasons is volunteering.
Yes.
So I encourage every dad and mom to let their kids fly and volunteer, no matter where, no matter what for. Just let them be themselves. Let them see what is the world outside of Egypt looks like, how it is. They are gonna come back loving their country more. This is what happened to me. Like I was a little bit like, I want to travel. Yeah. Then when I came back, everything in Egypt seemed amusing, seemed like funny, nice, lovely.
So you give now a message to the parents. What message would you like to give to the youth from your place here?
Keep knocking doors, and just don't walk just like this. Walk with a target, walk to a target, walk with steady, small steps. No matter, it doesn't matter how long it's gonna take. Just
Go ahead.
go ahead, do it, and don't wait until you're ready. You're never gonna be ready. You're never gonna be ready. You only get ready through the journey. Keep knocking doors.
Yes. Sarah, since you're a journalist, an African affairs specialized journalist, and at the same time you've been working in African countries on community service, tell me how important is it to create a bond among African youth from different countries, and how can this be achieved?
This could be achieved through gathering like World Youth Forum, conferences, camping programs, volunteering programs, student exchanging programs, and a lot more. Why it's important? Because the kid in university or in school now in South Africa, tomorrow he can be the president. And the kids in Egypt now, tomorrow is going to be the president one day. So when they already know each other, when they already understand each other's culture, I think creating peace and uniting Africa is going to be much more easy.
Right. Finally, Sarah, what are your plans and dreams for the future?
I will just continue writing and volunteering for such projects. Nothing more. I don't have anything else to care about right now.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you very much, Sarah Al-Amin, African Affairs journalist. Many thanks for joining us, and all the best of luck.
Thank you.
And dear viewers, that brings us to the end of this edition of Today's Youth. Don't forget to join us next week, same time. Till then, it's goodbye.